Hey guys, Nverse Villainz back with you again, ready to chop up another one. Check this out. We're all about stimulating the mind. See, when I was growing up as a kid, it was all about music. It was all about dancing. It was all about, and yes, we did dance. And I'm not talking about the robot was kind of cool. Dancing has actually changed. Music's actually changed. Now we're in 2019. A lot of people are like, oh, you can't dance to it. You can't dance to it. Well, let me tell you something. You can't dance to a lot of the shit that's out there right now. So the only thing you do is pretty much groove off of it. Nobody really goes and dances anymore. Not like they were doing in the 80s and in the 70s and things like that nature. People were still dancing, and they toned that down, in our society. And a lot of people don't know why. I do. Do your research on that. Music definitely affects the blood. It affects our characters, our state of minds. I always say the blood. The blood always has a way of speaking to you. And they always sit there and say if Mozart was still alive, he'd be playing metal music due to the complexity of it, which I highly agree. So what we're going to be looking into today is basically what the can I always say these words? I feel like I need to buy a vowel. What is the physiologic effect does to new age, grunge rock, techno, and heavy metal? Like, what type of effects does it have on us? This was with Dr. Gregory. Okay, actually, if you go to, and I highly recommend that you check this cat out. I like the way he actually put this video together for us, so this way I can share it with you guys today on pretty much what the effects are, with these type of music. I don't understand why they didn't put rap in there, but who cares? It is what it is. Interesting. Even though that's the number one thing that people seem to feel that's actually dominating. Not knocking rap. I love it, but at the same time too, it's all about the frequencies. About what people are into, and right now that's what seems to be into. So when it comes down to this, we're going to be talking about the effects of grunge rock, metal, techno, and heavy metal. So let's see exactly what he has to say. Let's check this out.
The stress-reducing effects of music appear to extend throughout the clinical spectrum, even to the critically ill, intubated in an intensive care unit. Those with headphones on their head playing Mozart cut stress hormones like adrenaline in half compared to those with headphones playing nothing, resulting in a lower mean arterial blood pressure. But are all types of music just as relaxing? Researchers compare the effects of Mozart versus Pearl Jam versus Enya on normal, healthy subjects. What do you think they found?
Probably a lot.
After listening to Mozart for 15 minutes, people reported significant reduction in tension. With New Age music, they also got a reduction in tension, more relaxation, less hostility, but reports of a significant reduction in mental clarity and vigor. And after grunge rock, people said they felt more hostile, tired, sad, and tense, with reductions in caring, relaxation, clarity, and vigor.
Okay, let me stop it right there. Now, basically, haven't you, just like hearing that, is freaking amazing. There's some positive and some negative effects pretty much in that, Certain people felt lost, felt really relaxed while listening to it, but then also had to deal with the force of like memory lapse, or almost like a memory loss in there, if I heard that correctly. And then, you listen over here to, the grunge rock, and actually there's a form of, relaxation, but also hostility. So see, it's just like positive and negatives. Nothing in this world can survive without an opposite. Man, female, up, down, positive, negative, black, white. It's just one of those things. So just the whole duality thing is what they're pitching. But let's see what else he's got to say about this. This is interesting. This is the food for thought that we bring you at Inverse. Yeah, we like the music, but we're going to also tell you the science behind this as well, too.
But these were just subjective measures, asking people how they felt. What about objective measures? Well, we do have data on techno. After 30 minutes of classical music, the stress hormone cortisol significantly dropped. But if instead of listening to Beethoven's Symphony No. 6, Opera 68, they listened to Cybertrip's Techno Shock Techno Magnetico,
So it's like basically, it's like I was just trying to figure out, like, okay, like was a guy just bored one day and he was sitting in his basement and just says, hey, I'm gonna make some computer music? Because I mean, if you ask me, it was like somebody farting on a snare drum, and just didn't even come out as clear as it could have. But this is what the kids are listening to. My kids dig it. They're always listening to it. My nieces and my nephews actually dig it, and I'm still trying to figure out why. Because in my time when I was growing up, I'm like, we wouldn't call that music. But were our kids gonna play Beethoven and Mozart? Probably not, unless if they actually see it in one of their favorite movies, and they still probably can't even identify exactly who it is. So, we're talking on the EDM level and all this techno type stuff. Now everything is kind of fusing together, which I find to be really interesting. So check this out. Let's see what else he's got to say.
Stress hormone levels went up. Now, endorphin levels went up too, which you may think, oh, that's nice, until you realize that endorphins are our body's natural painkillers and go up after a variety of aversive stimuli, like getting burned or prodded.
That's deep.
This may just be a function of the tempo, though.
Tempo.
People get the same bump in breathing and blood pressure listening to fast classical music, Vivaldi's Presto, as stimulating even more so than the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
So see right there, it's just like saying with the effects that he's talking about, there's no different from a drug. So music can become like that drug for most of us. He's telling you pretty much the psychological and the chemical thing that's going down with it when you listen to this type of music. So pay close attention watching this video. This is Nverse bringing you food for thought on the music that we listen to. It's freaking mind-blowing, the science behind it.
What about heavy metal music? Participants were randomly assigned to self-selected classical, heavy metal, or silence. Listening to self-selected and classical music produced increased feelings of relaxation, as well as sitting in silence, but not so much for the heavy metal condition. Compared to relaxing and pleasant Renaissance music, exposure to arousing and unpleasant heavy metal caused a heightened amylase response in men.
It's like, yeah.
Amylase is an enzyme in our saliva that digests starch. And so when we go into fight or flight mode, we can immediately start churning out the enzyme to provide sugars for quick energy. So you get a spike when you go skydiving, or if someone dunks you in near freezing water, or...
Oh, that was freaking awesome. I was like, what he's basically saying is Rick, we're going for the rush. It's like strictly for the freaking rush, or to kick somebody's freaking ass. Like either way, that's exactly what you're getting from this, which I kind of find to be really interesting. So check this out. See what else he's got on this. Damn, this is interesting.
You make a guy listen to heavy metal for 10 minutes. With all that extra enzyme, if he's eating bread while banging his head, he could end up digesting it better. Metal is more likely to cause the medical community indigestion, though. Although the American Medical Association's Group on Science and Technology admits there's no evidence that this music has any deleterious effect on the behavior of adolescents, that doesn't stop them from suggesting there's anecdotal evidence that those who identify with such bands as Slayer and Metallica may be at risk for drug abuse or even participation in satanic activities.
Okay, did I just hear that right? It's a Metallica or actual drug use or satanic activities? Come on, people. It's just like, we all like the album One. I know I did, and it's just like, is everybody who listens to that into Satanism and drugs and all this other stuff? Some, maybe. I could see that. I don't think all, but... put that in the comments and let me know exactly what you think on that comment there. Because, we all know that actually they're always trying to create a deterrent for us by putting it out there. But, with them being the experts, and all using all this science to see exactly if you agree. So put it in the comments. Let me know exactly what you guys think of this video. And tell me what parts you agree with and what parts you don't. It'd be interesting to hear it from the Nverse people. So let's check this out.
To which one doctor wrote in to reply that for every teenager who commits suicide or some crime under the influence of heavy metal music, there may be dozens of white-collar criminals engaged in such activities as insider trading, fraud, and corruption. Maybe we should instead be blaming Bach or Barry Manilow.
He said Bach or Barry Manilow. So you got the kid who actually is over there in school, like little Johnny. You know, basically, look, he's gonna not if he's gonna knock over a grocery store, not down to the executive, he's gonna do embezzlement or something of a white collar crime or executive crime or something of that nature. Either way, people are people. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and that's pretty much what this whole thing was about. And actually showing the effects of music. It's all about a rush. It's all about experience. It's all about pretty much what people feel. And actually, I've seen, regardless of it's techno, metal, grunge, rock, and I really wish they would have put rap in there. Maybe he can actually maybe do that for the next video. But I find it to be very interesting that how they have the positive and negative effects. So let me know exactly how music does affect you. Put it in the comments down below, and definitely check out Dr. Greger in nutrition.org. Does tons of research, tons of topics, but I found this one to be inversed out, so that's the reason why I wanted to do pretty much a video on it. So like, subscribe, guys. This is Nverse Villainz, Villain Van Michaels, bringing you some food for the mind, and like I say, like, subscribe, hit the bell for me, and thanks for being with us. Nverse Villainz, Van Michaels, I'm out.